I'm going to talk about 4 of the most effective strategies for improving the consolidation and retrieval of information. These are retrieval practice, distributed practice, interleave practice, and elaboration. Retrieval practice. Part of learning is the process of retrieving encoded chunks of information from long-term memory. This is known as retrieval or active recall. Retrieval practice is a process for testing yourself by trying to answer questions or explain concepts without referring to the source material. Your aim when practicing retrieval is not to repeat verbatim what's written in the text, but to use your own words to answer the question. Any inaccuracies in your response should be noted as something that needs more attention. Retrieval is not simply a review of information sitting in your memory. By trying to recall the relevant information in response to a question or prompt, you're actually changing the synaptic connections that form the memory. The more intentionally you practice retrieving information, where you bring it from long-term into short-term memory, the more the memory trace is strengthened. Because of this, the retrieval of information from your long-term memory is not exactly like collecting an item from storage, because the process of retrieving the memory changes it by making it stronger. One simple way to practice retrieval is immediately after a lecture. You should go through your notes and see how many of the high-level concepts you can recall from memory. Highlight those that you don't remember, flagging them for later review. In this way, you can avoid retrieving information for its own sake. In other words, you should focus your retrieval practice on concepts the lecturer has talked about, rather than simply trying to remember a lot of information about the topic. Once you get home and start reviewing your notes, choose a paragraph of text that's linked to the lecture from earlier in the day. Read the text once, then look away from the source material and try to repeat what you've read in your own words. Don't make the mistake of trying to memorize the order of the words in the text. This switches your attention from trying to understand how the concepts fit together to what order the words appeared in. When you're satisfied that you can explain the concept without looking at the source, move on to the next paragraph.